Hi there. Ever turned a piece of cracked cherry wood into something stunning? Well, that's exactly what we're doing today. I got this challenging piece from a friend, and things got pretty interesting. Wobbly lathes, carved experiments, messy resin pours, and even some unexpected setbacks. Stick around, because we're transforming chaos into beauty, and trust me, you don't want to miss how this one turns out. So my buddy gave me this cherry blank, but it's cracking badly. I already know resins in the future, but for now, I'm just being cautious. Because of its irregular shape, it's causing my lathe to wobble and vibrate like crazy. First things first, let's trim this down, get a tenon on it, chuck it up to calm down the chaos. With it balanced better, now I can finally dream up some fun ideas for this project. My friend also lent me his hollowing tool, a pretty cool gadget. I've never used one before, but today I'm giving it a shot. I'm aiming to use the tool to core out the center, leaving behind a little tiny baby blank for us to use later, maybe to make another bowl. Here's the catch though. The cutting blade is about a ½ inch above the lathe center. It's supposed to be exactly at lathe center, but I thought I'd give it a shot anyway. Okay, I admit defeat. The tool, being just a little too high, is cutting in the wrong spot, making it so that when the curved part of the blade goes in, it gets pinched by the wood. My lathe is just too small for this setup. I think what I'll do is take this back over to my friend's house and use his lathe to finish the job. So I'm back, and wow, what a difference a properly aligned tool made. It cut through this effortlessly. With the core removed, I've decided to carve random lines into the bowl's interior surface. I'm not totally sure what'll happen when resin fills these carvings, but hey, experimenting's half the fun. Now it's resin time. To prevent leaks, I'm wrapping the bowl with packing tape, adding aluminum tape for extra security, and then I'm sealing everything with UV resin. I'm being particularly cautious with these really deep cracks. I'm concerned that the resin will come down through the sides where the cracks exist at the top of the bowl, but we're going to seal them with UV resin too. No leaks are allowed here. To save resin, I'm placing the core mini blank back inside our bowl. I've picked out a mica powder named Kiwi. It has a fascinating reddish-brown color with streaks of green. Can't wait to see how it cures. Into the pressure pot for 3 long days it goes. After curing, wow, this looks like a complete mess. But let's not judge too soon. The more material I remove, the more carefully I proceed. I want to find where the resin comes through the bottom of the bowl, but I also don't want to remove too much wood. As I start trimming the material back, sharp bits of resin start hitting my hand where I'm holding the tool, and they actually break my skin. So I decided to put this glove on to give myself a little more protection. The other thing I realized while I was shaping this is there's just a lot of material at the bottom. I know from coring, the bowl is going to be kind of shallow. So this extra material has the potential to be used to make some kind of fancy base. For now, I'm undecided. I'm just going to focus on the top part of the bowl, leave plenty of material to shape the base later. Oops, slight hiccup. I intended to core that mini blank out again so I could use it later, but the walls are way too thin now. No worries. We'll hollow this bowl the old-fashioned way. As our poor little core gets shredded all over onto the floor of my shop, I'm looking for when the resin starts because that's when I need to be a little bit more careful. I want to go down through the lines, but not too far. As the walls become thinner, vibrations are starting to become a problem, affecting my cuts. Let's pause and stabilize the walls using something handy. I'll figure out a quick fix and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've wrapped the rim of the bowl with a bicycle inner tube and secured it with packing tape. It feels way better already. Maybe I spoke too soon. The packing tape failed. Let's swap to something stronger like maybe duct tape. This is much, much better. This trick seriously reduces vibrations, and it reinforces those thin walls, making me feel more confident when I'm using my tools against them. Done with the inside, let's finalize the outside shape. I'm torn between an oversized base or something simpler. I'll shape the walls to flare out first, then I'll decide on the base later, when we remove it from the chuck. For now, it's sanding time. I'll catch up with you after a few hours of smoothing things out. Now we're applying some wax sanding sealer. It's easy enough to do. You just rub it all over, wait for about an hour when it's good and dry, then buff away any excess. It's simple, but really enhances the finish and beauty. It's decision time for the base. The more I think about it, I think simpler is better here. The bowl already has plenty going on visually, and I don't want to take away from that, so we're going to make the base really simple. I'm going to go shallow here with the parting tool. I don't want to cut it off right now. I just want to create a smooth line so later when we flip it onto the vacuum chuck, we have some place to saw without creating rough edges.
Wow.
I've moved the chuck over to the tailstock, and I'm using it to gently hold the bowl against the vacuum. The lid is locked, and I'm sawing off the excess base carefully. With the saw almost all the way through, the pressure from the tailstock is starting to pinch it, so I have to relieve that pressure and finish the sawing process without any support. It's just a little bit nerve-wracking with the bowl just floating there with nothing but a vacuum holding it in place, so we're going to add a little bit of support while we finish up the bottom. Taking some careful passes now to remove those rough saw marks, I'm angling it upwards slightly. The goal is to create a subtle cup inside the base. Okay, let's take the extra support from the tailstock away. We are working just on vacuum now. I have to be careful and gentle, but I'm going to remove this nub and then make a recess for my maker's mark. As we wrap up buffing our bowl and putting the maker's mark in its new home, I just want to say thanks for sticking around with me through all the adventures. Now, enjoy some close-up beauty shots of our final masterpiece.